I wasn't going to do another video today, but I'm going to because this morning I woke up earlier than usual because I was having anxiety dreams. Toby, get your tail down. Good. Sorry, cat. I'm not reading from a script, so you have to bear with me this time. Okay, so I wanted to share this example with you simply because... Why? Sorry. Okay, I want to share this example with you. Ta-da! Okay, so the dreams, the thoughts that were in my head as I was waking up, still in that sleep mode, the web spot or whatever, they were anxious, hearts racing. Now, sometimes they are fast-running thoughts, and sometimes they're just one thought, the next thought, the next thought, but they feel... Thanks, buddy. But they feel like they're racing thoughts because there's this pressure along with them, the anxiety pressure. Not to mention, you do feel like your brain is kind of being pressed against. Hint, hint, anxiety dreams. So, here is one of the things about anxiety. Just like, well, I'll get that part next. The thing about anxiety is it's essentially your brain trying to protect you. It's not supposed to. It's not doing the right thing. It's like an overprotective... Will you get your tail? It's like an overprotective parent. I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared for this at all. I'm in a different room. I'm with the cat. I'm on the floor. I'm in my apron. I just made dinner. It was good. Ribs, corn, sauerkraut, potatoes. Anyway, I felt like I needed to share this. So it's kind of an anxious thing for me to begin with, so just bear with me. Anyway, one of the things about the anxiety is oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes, those anxious thoughts are actually just distractions. Now, some of those things are legitimate, some of your thoughts that you're having, to the point where they actually do apply. And some of those thoughts are just, they're legitimate, they're yeah, it's true, but they're not really... For example, I'm sorry, I apologize, I just remember where I was at. So what I was saying before Toby's tail passed there, was that it's basically your brain trying to protect you, kind of like an overprotective parent will do things that they think they're doing to protect their child, but in the end, it's actually just hurting their child, right? So kind of think of it like that. I know it sounds a little weird, your brain, yeah, that's okay. So, but anyway, the thoughts are supposed to distract you. Because if you don't try, you can't get hurt, right? It's kind of like that idea. So basically, the whole thing was about the singing thing. I don't know if you've seen any of my other videos or anything where I've mentioned the thing about singing. I'm trying to basically talk myself out of doing that this weekend or in the future or anything. And the reason I say that is because the thoughts that I was having, they were pressing, they were causing the anxiety, the heart racing, all that stuff. And they were thoughts like I was excited I was going to wear my pirate skirt this weekend when I went out. And, but one of the thoughts in my head was, I can't fit that. It won't look right because I'm overweight right now. Well, that's true. But is that a reason to stop someone from singing? No. Now, I have noticed there have been times where my weight can affect my singing, but not enough to actually be a reason. And yet, my brain is saying, it is a reason. It is a reason. It's a real reason. You gotta focus on this. This is, it's creating those anxiety thoughts. Sorry, I'm not good at acting like that. I'm good at acting on the spot, but not over with so much focus. Anyway, So that was one of the reasons. So, like I said, partially legitimate because the weight can affect my singing, but not really. And what I wear has nothing to do with if I'm going to sing or not. It's either you sing or you don't. It's, and then the next thing was what was the next thing? Sorry, you had to give me a second. The next thing was oh, I'm not going to sing very well because I've never had any vocal lessons. No one's ever taught me how to sing. So I shouldn't go out there and sing because I've never been taught how to. So, basically since I haven't been taught, means I can't do. Right? 1 + 1 = 2, right? That makes sense. It does make sense. That type of thinking kind of does make sense. But it's not legitimate either. Because one, you don't have to have a vocal teacher to teach you to sing. It's helpful. But it's not a reason to stop me from singing. But the brain, again, is over-focused on these thoughts. I can't remember some of the other thoughts. Now, anyway, so now just kind of like, I don't know if you've seen any of my other videos, but just like with the depression thing, the answer is to detach from the situation, saying you don't need whatever it is that you're, being anxious about. For example, me saying, okay, in fair honesty, I haven't actually said it yet. There's reasons why I I did this a little while ago while I was making dinner. Like I did it in my head and a little out loud, and I was even singing while I was at the sink washing dishes. Trying to prepare myself, thinking, I should probably share that. It's not, it's a little embarrassing. And, me having to, share the soul thing again, because it's a little important to me. But, that's why I can't. Because sometimes something that we really want to do, we just can't. Or something stopping us, like anxiety. It's sometimes really, really important. We really want to do it. I really do want to do it. I'm nervous, I'm scared, I'm worried, and, hoping nobody has any fresh produce in the audience. But, yeah, I wanted to do it. Really, really wanted to. And I do believe that it's one of the thorns that might be in my head. For the simple fact that not only was it something that hurt and did not make sense, so it affected both sides of the brain and stayed that way. But also because of me being a homeschool student, I was more isolated than other children. Like, for example, I could have, again, I don't know if you saw the other video, sorry. I was homeschooled and I had an issue. No, I'm not going to try and explain it because I'll explain it all wrong. Sorry. It's an issue. Anyway, for those who did see the video, I was isolated because I was homeschooled. Whereas if I had been a student in school, I probably, especially being the outgoing type that I kind of was, I probably would have had a teacher that I felt like I could turn to and probably would have said, hey, Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so, I'm kind of having a problem with the music teacher. And I would have been able to open up and tell them about it, and then something would have been able to, on an authority level, possibly get done about it. But I didn't, or but I wasn't part of the school system. And so I couldn't, do that kind of thing. So, that also, in that situation, also creates not just this situation in the head that hurts and doesn't make sense, but I also feel alone, isolated, and alone in the world dealing with it. Also, if had I also been a student, I probably would have been with some of the other students that had also been turned down without even realizing it. We probably would have banded together. Like, you got turned down too? Me too. Gosh, man, you sing great. Well, so do you. And maybe, who knows? Maybe we would have been like, you know what? Something seems fishy. And I would have said, well, actually, after the rehearsals, I heard some things. Or the auditions, not the rehearsals. Sorry. So then, yeah, I would have been able to do something about it. But it happens, right? So anyway, I do believe, though, that is one of the things stuck in my head, because it was, it's, I don't want to say it hits the core in the brain, but kind of, when something's extremely important to you, and not just important to you, it clicks. It clicks. Singing music that makes sense to me. So it wasn't just something that, felt good and made sense for that reason, that clicked as well. Sometimes we just have something that we come across: art, music, math, science. There's something about something that just kind of makes sense in a way that, okay, there's other things in the world that make sense, but this makes sense. Ooh. So it clicks. And so that's one of the reasons why it gets stuck, because it's something that's that important. And I have a reason to believe it's probably, like I said, one of the thorns in my head, or whatever you want to call them. The things that get stuck, and then you can't get rid of them. And then they just kind of follow you around all your life, stopping you from doing things. Because, go figure, the brain's sitting here going, something doesn't make sense. Something's here that should not be here. This little problem represented by this little thorn. Which, yeah, I could see the depression and the anxiety from that. I'm sure there was other things too, but, like everybody, working on them one at a time, I suppose. But anyway, I wanted to share that. I didn't need to share all the stuff that I shared, but I wanted to share that because when it comes to the anxiety, like I said, gosh, I went through that whole spiel and I didn't need to. Detaching can help. I'm not going to say that it's going to help everybody. I'm not going to say it's a for sure thing, because I am not a doctor. I have not researched this. I don't know. It'd be great if people would try it and then let me know if it does work or not, because it's only good if it actually works for more than one person, and actually works for more than even several people. Yeah, it's kind of a lot of people, maybe. But the only way I'm going to find out if my theory is any good is if people try stuff. So if you're one of those people that figures, hey, I've tried everything else, try that one too. Just detach. You don't need to do something. It's you not fighting with your brain. It's you agreeing with it. And as always, when you are in conflict with someone and you kind of, instead of staying in conflict, just kind of let go and pacify the situation by saying, you know what, for conversation's sake, we're going to go with what you're saying. We're just going to, the fight goes down. The conflict goes away. So it's kind of like that type of thinking. Your brain it feels attacked. Think about it. You're laying there in your depression, or you're walking back and forth pacing with your anxiety. Do you not feel like your brain is under attack? Well, it is. And it doesn't trust anyone, anything. So, yeah, you're agreeing with it and saying, okay, let's let the water settle. We don't need to do that. I don't know, maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't. We'll see. I'm going to continue working on these videos and working on the book. Oh boy, the book. Yay. We'll see how that goes.